Everybody, I'm back. It's Angie from Color Tree Creations. Just real quick thing. I'm gonna do up my packages real quick. I always include a thank you note, even if it just only says thank you. And I have some Martha Stewart stamps here, and one of them says thank you. I have this little tiny one that says thanks. I have this one. I don't use it very often. It came in a group of stamps that I bought. But that one says thank you. And then I have this I got from the Dollar Tree. It says thank you. So I have my two little cards here, one for each of the journals that I'm going to send out. And I think I am going to use, this is how I do mine. Put this where I want it, and I write a little note on the back, which, you know, makes it personalized. Get this in here where I want it, and I'll turn it sideways. And then when you turn it sideways a little bit, you can tell that it's not where I want it. Oh, there goes the boy child. He's a crying. He's probably cranky. He probably got woke up from his nap. Pardon me. And then what I will do is stamp it with some black. This one hasn't been used much, but let's make sure I have it the way that I wanted it. Line it up like I had it. I have a clear block. I'm just too lazy to get up and get it. See? Nice and pretty. Thank you. Simple, but it took some time to make. It's not printed. And I'm sorry if I'm shaking yins. This is just one of those plastic tables that folds up, you know, like a camping table. And that one's a little lighter. It's not perfect, but it's still legible. And I don't always clean my stamps. Like right now, since I don't really have a whole lot of time, because I want to get done with this and get upstairs and back to the family and do my motherly things. But I got those for 99 cents at Tuesday Mornings. Wasn't that cool? Alright. Because I have to still have to go to the grocery store and stuff. Mommy's work is never done. Neither is Daddy, because depending on what's going on will depend on who goes to the store. Sometimes we all go, and sometimes I have to escape. We don't. Alright, so let's see. I'm going to put this one with this. This is the vintage parcel. And let's see, do I have a ink pen down here? No, I do not. What I will do is I'll show you how I normally wrap these, because it is so simple. But I haven't had a complaint yet as to the wrapping. I send these in a priority mailbox, and I just put these with my little gift journal. I usually do it like this. Sometimes I tie them with ribbon. I'm not going to finish this how I normally do it, because I'm going to tie some ribbon around it, some gift ribbon, and then I just fold my wrapping over. This way, and then If it's going to be too long, I'll fold it under like this. And then I will take some of my washi. Since it doesn't stick real well, I can go ahead and, you know what I mean, it's removable. I just take a little bit of washi, I rub it down like that, and then it's all in there, nice and pretty. And I will put this in my mailer envelope, and then I have a Color Tree Creations label. It has my address on there and a blank spot for me to handwrite the recipient's address. And when I do that, I take my 2-inch wide clear duct tape, and when I put it on the box, and I tape that entire label, because I can't tell you how many times I've received mail, and I'm not talking about packages from businesses or anything, because I usually have like pouches that have tape on them, double-sided tape, and they just put it in there, seal it up, pull the double-sided tape off, and plop it on your box. But I don't have the money to go out and buy all that fancy label stuff. But whenever I've gotten letters and stuff in the mail from relatives, cards, stuff like that, if they get wet, whether in your mailbox or because your carrier is a walking carrier and they get wet, I'm trying not to cough, I'm sorry guys. Sometimes the ink will run from your pen. So that makes a mess, and then it's illegible, and then you have an unhappy customer, and you have an unhappy you. So always, if you're mailing stuff, put some clear tape over your address so that your label does not get distorted or anything. It can't, if they stamp on it normally, you know, the regular stamps, it will wipe off or whatever, and then you don't have any issue with your addresses. So, but yeah, that's what I do. I will put packing paper in around this, or masking paper. You guys have seen me use it before in my other videos because I use it to make the journal covers also sometimes. Anyway, that stuff, I just tear it off in sheets and I crinkle it up and I stuff it in around, because the box I have, while it's 2 inches thick, the mailing boxes are like 12 by 14, so there's some room in there. And rather than use packing peanuts, I just put paper in there because it can be recycled. It can be burned if they want to use it for fire starter, because I do mail to a lot of rural areas. I live in a rural area, and you know, lots of people use fireplaces. So, you know, that it's reusable that way. But yeah, so that's it. That's how I pack. Nothing super fancy. I don't get carried away because, well, I'm selling my journals to make money so I can make more journals and make a little extra on the side. You know, I'm not gonna lie, I do use that money to buy groceries and put diapers on my baby and socks on my children, because my kids go through socks like crazy. But yeah, so you got to keep it low. This paper I actually got at a flea market for 50 cents for 25 sheets, or 50 sheets. I don't know. I took the label off. I think it's 25 sheets. Anyway, 25 sheets of the big, large pieces of paper for 50 cents. That was pretty cool. I can't get it at the dollar store for even that. But also, if you just wanted to use white, you can always stamp. You could take your stamp and just stamp all over it and make it whatever you want. That's a good way also to share your stamps with someone. If they like an image, you can stamp it out on white tissue paper. You stamp it out on white tissue paper, and what do we all love to do with our napkins? We peel that top layer off so it's just a little bit of white. As soon as this gets wet with the glue, it's transparent. It dries, for the most part, transparent. Not completely, but for the most part. So if your friend is okay with it, you can share your stamps that way. Also, when I do mailing envelopes, like when I mail out my papers or any of my craft supplies that will fit in regular mailers, the 6x9s or the 8.5, the 9x12s, I stamp all over them like this. with different stamps. That way, if they are a journaler or a, what do you call it, scrapbooker, they can cut those out and they can use them in their journals. So, you know, I like to think ahead of like that. So that there's an idea for some of yous. Whenever you do your swaps and stuff, stamp on your container that you're mailing in or that you're wrapping, and you can still share even more that way. So that's all I've got for this one, folks. I will talk to you later. Bye. Well,